Good morning, students. Welcome back to the e-learning platform of the JS College of Commerce, Wardha. And today we are going to start our topic MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises. In the earlier videos, we have covered the certain areas related with the public sector undertaking, private sector privatization, industrial sickness. Okay, now we are going to discuss this topic, that is the micro, small, and medium enterprises. As far as the micro, small, and medium enterprises are concerned, these are the very important part of the industrial setup of India. If we classify the Indian industrial sector, basically it is classified into the two heads, small MSMEs and the large scale enterprises. Earlier it used to be the large scale industries, then the medium scale industries, okay, and the small scale industries, and the tiny or small tiny industries or the cottage industries. Okay, now this classification has changed. Okay, the ministry has changed the setup. Now the MSMEs, that is micro, small, and medium enterprise, is a certain area, and the large scale is considered the other classification. Okay, now we will discuss what is basically the micro, small, and medium enterprises. See, if we'll consider these from the point of view of the investment, so this is basically the definition of the MSMEs, okay, in terms of the investment of the capital. Okay, so earlier, before 2020, there was the classification, okay, and under that the limit of the requirement of investment is like this. In the micro enterprises, which is related with the manufacturing sector, the investment limit is up to 25 lakhs, okay, and in the service sector the investment limit was 10 lakhs, okay. Whereas in the case of the small industry, which is under the manufacturing unit, which is actually the manufacturing unit, there the investment limit was up to 5 crores, and for the service the 2 crores, and the medium enterprise, this limit was, that is 10 crores, and the service enterprise the 5 crores. This was the classification. But in the year 2020, the limit of the investment has increased, and now the limit has increased, and simultaneously the criteria of turnover is also added along with the investment. So with that, both in the manufacturing as well as the service sector, these limit of investment and turnover is same. Now you can see, in the case of the micro enterprises, the investment limit is of up to 1 crore, and the turnover is up to 5 crores, okay. Whereas the small scale industry, the investment is up to 10 crores and the turnover is up to 50 crores. And the industry, which is basically the medium enterprise, basically has the investment limit up to rupees 20 crores, and the turnover of medium enterprise is related with the 100 crores, okay. So this is the limit which is fixed by the government of India in terms of the investment as well as the turnover, and accordingly the MSMEs, that is micro, small, and medium enterprises, are classified, and they are considered they are considered basically the category of micro, small, and medium enterprise. So this is the limit. It is the revised limit. Now we will see what are basically the role of MSMEs, okay. So these MSMEs have the employment potential. Basically, uh, if we are talking about the micro as well as the small enterprises, they are basically the labor intensive enterprises. The large number of labor can be employed here, so these are the main source of employment provider in the country. So it has the great amount of employment potential. Similarly, these enterprises supposed to to a lot of extent, or to the large extent, to the large scale industries, they provide they work as ancillary units to the various large scale industries. They provide the raw material as well as the semi finished goods to these industries. Okay. Similarly, they help in the capital formation. How they help in the capital formation? Via the employment generation. They via the employment generation, basically the people normally gets the job, and the people gets the job, their savings are there, and these savings are actually deposited in the banks, and somehow the capital formation process takes place. Okay. So these industries help in the capital formation process. Similarly, these are the capital light industries. Okay. How they are the capital light industries? In terms of the capital requirement, as we have seen earlier, the capital requirement was less. As you can see here, before 2020, the capital requirement was only up to 25 lakh rupees for the micro enterprises. Okay. Whereas for the medium small scale industries, the investment limit was only of the 2 crores, and in the service sector that limit was less, in fact 10 lakhs as well as 2 crores. So now we can see these industries are basically the capital light industries. Okay. So capital light industries, and similarly the huge machineries are not required. They work maximum extent at the manpower, with the help of the manpower. The next important point is the increase in the capital skill formation. Many of these industries are basically be considered as a micro as well as the small enterprises. They are handicrafts goods are produced. Many of the in such type of the industries, handicraft goods are produced. So somehow the skill formation takes place here. The next one is the export potential. They provide the goods which are produced by these industries also sold in the international market. Okay. If we are talking about the handicraft industries, okay, so the handicraft articles which are produced by these industries are basically having the more demand in the international market. So they provide the goods in the international market, and via that the export activities of the country is also increased. If you take the example of the Banarsi sari, they are having the great demand in the international market. Okay. Similarly, the handicraft goods, the material which are produced by the artisans, are also having the great demand. So somehow their goods which are manufactured by these units are having the export potential. Again, there is it helps in the national income via basically providing the employment. Similarly, they contribute to a large extent in the GDP of the country. These units are also the export oriented units. They provide they help in the export also. So somehow the national income in the contribution of these MSMEs in the national income is also more. These basically MSMEs have the quick yielding. Okay. There is not a long gestation period. Okay. Whenever the investment is made, and within a 1 year time period, or within a 1 year time period, basically the enterprises can be started. Okay. So here the return on the investment is yielded fastly. Okay, the balanced regional development. These industries actually having are spread all over the countries. Okay, in the in the small towns as well as in the village areas, small towns as well as in the village industry areas, these industries are set up. Okay, in fact in the rural areas you will find the tiny sectors, okay, or micro enterprises. So somehow the balanced regional development takes place because of these enterprises. If we talk about the large scale industries, so the large scale industries are basically set up in the more basically set up in the areas which are having the more industrial setup. Okay, we can say they are established in the industrial states. So somehow the regional imbalance developed because of the large scale industries. They are normally set up in the big cities. Like if you will take the example that many of the industries are set up in the Gujarat as well as in the Maharashtra, and Maharashtra specifically in the um, Marathwada region, and basically if we talk about the Mumbai, if we'll talk the industries which are set up in the NCR region. Similarly, if you go to the down south, you will find the more industries are there nearby Bangalore as well as Hyderabad, as well as you will find there in the Chennai. So these industries are large scale industries are basically set up in those areas which have the connectivity of the transport facilities, similarly which have the better availability of raw material and finance, all this. But these MSMEs can be set up in the different areas. Okay, because of that the regional imbalance cannot be developed. Okay, which is basically developed because of the large scale industries. Here the industrial dispute is less. Why so? Because maximum time in the micro enterprises we find the labor are from the family itself. Okay, the number of workers who work there are basically from the family itself. So the chances of the industrial disputes are less. If we talk about the small enterprises, normally the same situation is there, or the one or two laborers are employed. So again, the problem of the industrial disputes are less in such type of the enterprises. Okay, so there are the less chances of the industrial disputes. So these are basically the importance of MSMEs. Okay, now these MSMEs also suffer the certain problems. Okay, and what are these problems? First one over there is the concentration in urban areas. Okay, see, the basic motive behind the small scale and micro enterprises was that they can be started in the rural areas also. Okay, or semi-rural, semi-urban areas. But now you find that these are more concentrated towards the urban areas. So the crowd situation is developed in the urban areas, and sometimes we do not get they do not get the better facilities of the raw material and the other things. Okay, and we find maximum time the various micro and medium micro enterprises as well as the small enterprises are basically the bogus units. Okay, they are registered only with the government records. They get the maximum benefits. Okay, but as far as the uh, other benefits are as they gets the maximum benefits, but after that they gets the maximum benefits and they enjoyed the benefits of credit and finance. They remain as a bogus unit. Okay, and the genuine SSI unit which really exist, they do not get the financial assistance as well as the other benefits of the government which are provided to these units. So there is also the problem of the bogus units. Similarly, the employment conditions in these units are very poor. as compared to the large scale enterprises. Normally we find in the large scale enterprises the employment conditions are good, but here the employment conditions are not very much healthy. For many benefits or for many schemes, they depend to a large extent on the government. They get for the financial assistance, they depend on the government. Similarly, for the marketing assistance, they depend on the government. So their dependency on the government is high. Again, there is a problem of the large scale industrial sickness. Maximum time these small scale micro enterprises suffers with the industrial sickness due to the non availability of the capital. Similarly, there is a problem of there is a problem related with the labor. There is a problem related with the marketing of their products. Because of these, there is a problem of the industrial sickness, and these industrial sickness, because of the industrial sickness, many of these enterprises actually closed down. There is also the problem of underutilization of the capacities. Many times these units suffer with the problem of the underutilization of the capacity. They do not fully utilize the capacity because of the various reasons, and these reasons are the capital, again the labor availability, sometimes the availability of the raw material. There is also the problem of the electricity. There is sometimes the problem of the water supply as well as the power supply. Because of these reasons, basically they work under capacity. Okay, there is a misuse of benefits due to the attractive concessions. Various industries are basically the government has made it that the various industries are restricted to, especially for the MSME sectors. Okay, the large scale enterprises cannot enter into it. So because of these attractive concessions and the benefits also, sometimes the monopoly like situation develops and they do not enjoy the entire benefits. Okay, they do not enjoy the entire benefits which are provided by the government. There is also the problem related with the raw material. As I said earlier, there is a problem of the finance as well as the marketing of the goods. There is also maximum time we find these enterprises do not have the proper quality control as well as the quality assurance. There is quality control as well as quality assurance cell. Basically, we find R&D is not taken place as much as like the large scale enterprises. Okay, so the quality issues are there with the product of these enterprises. Similarly, there are the problems which are related with the marketing of this product. Okay, their products are not sold in the market. They cannot maximum time, just because of the non-availability or the sufficient amount of the capital, they cannot advertise their product, okay, as the large scale enterprises. So their product is actually new for the consumers, and the consumers do not believe or do not have the trust on the product of these enterprises, so they do not buy it. And because of that, the sales of these enterprise product is also suffered. Okay, so there are the problems, marketing problems with these enterprises. Similarly, there are the problems of the unremitted prices. They do not get the good price for their product, and as a result of that, they have to sell their product in the market at a price which are below the other competitive products price. So the prices are also sometimes the unremunerative. So these are the problems with which basically the micro, small and medium enterprises suffer. Okay, in the next video of the same topic, we will discuss the government schemes as well as the possible solutions for related with the MSMEs, or the possible solutions for the improvement of the performance of the MSMEs. Okay, so that's all from my side in this video lecture. Thank you.